When someone is heartbroken to the extreme, what would they be like? A man feels he has never truly loved his wife until this day. One moment he was chatting with his wife, and the next, a car accident occurred. His father-in-law tells him his wife has passed away, but the man remains unusually calm. He calmly looks at the hospital bed where his wife lay, calmly wipes away the bloodstains she left behind, and calmly tries to buy chocolates from a vending machine. The chocolates get stuck, but the man stays calm. He simply takes down the contact information from the vending machine and leaves. Back home, he opens the fridge and finds a note his wife left before she passed away. He still feels calm. At the funeral, family and friends are all grieving, but the man feels no sadness. During the memorial service, sad music plays, and everyone is in a somber mood. To fit in, the man goes to the bathroom and practices a sad expression in front of the mirror, trying to squeeze out a few tears, but he gives up eventually. The man thinks he never loved his wife. That night, he remembers the vending machine incident and decides to write a letter to the company. He doesn't know why he's writing, but he wants to report the bad shopping experience and make sure no details are missed. As he writes, he starts telling the story of how he and his wife met and fell in love. It's as if, to solve the vending machine problem, he needs to explain his entire life. Without realizing it, he fills several pages. It seems the vending machine issue is more important to him than his wife's passing. The next day, the man goes to work as usual. His colleagues are shocked to see him, but he greets them as he always does. He asks his secretary to send the letter he wrote, saying it's important to him. Having just attended the funeral, his behavior defies normal expectations. His secretary advises him to take a few days off, speaking with a tone full of sadness, as if she's more grief-stricken over his wife's death than he is. But the man just wants to work. After work, he starts noticing things he never paid attention to before. His wife's hair on the comb, a seashell she loved on the table, and even some unrelated things like uprooted trees and colorful luggage at the airport. These things seem to fill the void in his life, as if something is missing and he needs to find something to fill it. His father-in-law hears he went to work and invites him for a chat. The father-in-law talks to him about many things, but the man ends up discussing the price of alcohol. The next morning, his father unexpectedly comes over to help trim the lawn and tells him to stay strong. It seems everyone wants to comfort his grief, but he genuinely feels no sadness. He even talks about his wife to strangers. When a stranger asks him how he feels, he remains silent for a moment, then pulls the emergency brake on the train like a madman. The police ask him why he did that, but he can't explain. When they learn his wife recently passed away, they let him go. His parents worry about him and suggest he move back with them, but he smiles and shakes his head without answering. That day, when he returns home, he takes out the toolbox because the fridge is leaking, something his wife had mentioned before. In the past, he would ignore her, but now he wants to fix it. He starts repairing the fridge but doesn't know what he's doing. In no time, the fridge, which was just leaking, is completely dismantled. Looking at the mess around him, the man feels strangely comfortable. He starts enjoying dismantling things. First the office computer, then the iron door of the company restroom, and even his wife's newly bought coffee machine. But these small things aren't enough for him anymore. So he puts on his suit, goes to a construction site, and pays to work as a laborer for the day. The workers don't question him much. They just hand him a hammer and let him start working. A co-worker even gives him a large hammer, and he begins smashing walls and tearing things down. The workers bet among themselves that the man must be crazy, but he feels perfectly normal. No sadness, no reason, just a strange sense of comfort. Due to copyright reasons, I cannot continue explaining the movie, which is titled Shattered Life.